our special guest this evening, our special speaking guest this evening. He has coached 2 Heisman Trophy recipients. In 1983, it was running back Mike Rozier. Oklahoma State running back Barry Sanders. He coached 6 young men that went on to play in the National Football League. Coached 5 different high school teams into postseason playoffs. He was defensive line coach at Coffeyville Community College, where in 1980 went undefeated 10-0 and finished #1 offense nationally, and inducted into the Coffeyville Hall of Fame. Assistant coach for the East Squad in 1993 Shrine Bowl, and in 94 head coach for the East Squad of the Kansas Shrine Bowl. He's married to the lovely lady sitting next to mine. Her name is Karen. Please welcome Coach Dale Burkholder.
Emporia, where'd you park the bus at with all those people? Congratulations to everyone here that was invited. You weren't here unless you were invited, so it's pretty darn special. And I always feel at home being around football people, especially this time of year when some other things are going on. But I will say this, I guarantee every football coach in here watching TV now, all you see is running backs and wide receivers running up and down that floor, because that's just our helmet head mentality. We see that. Were Friday nights fun or what, parents? Were Friday nights fun? I mean, you live for them. And you couldn't wait for the week to go super fast to get from Monday to Friday. You couldn't get there quick enough. For coaches, you don't want it to get there that quick. We had some work to do. You like to get some things in and teach some things. Friday night, you guys, or Friday morning, you got up. What'd you do? Put on your jersey. Maybe had a pregame meal, maybe not. You went to school. You had pep assemblies. It was exciting. Everybody patted you on the back, wanted a prediction and all that stuff. But Fridays were pretty special, right? And they were special for you players, and special for parents. And the smell of stadiums, even now, I notice it more than ever. You get within a mile of the stadium, and it's just a good smell, and pregame music and all that. That was the best, right? That was the best. Well, guess what? There's one better coming for you yet. It's not going to be on a Friday. It's going to be a Saturday out in Hayes. And you're not only going to have a big stadium to play in and celebrities there and past players. You have TV coverage. You have a parade in the morning. Don't sit over the wheels on the trailer. I can tell you that right now. That's too dangerous. That scares me. You got a good one coming. If you're a backer receiver, you're going to have better linemen in front of you than you've ever had. If you're a lineman, you're going to have better running backs and better ball carriers and passers stuff than you've ever had. This game is pretty darn special because you get to do it again. You have college scouts there. You have interviews on the sideline. There's been a couple years I haven't attended Shrine Bowl. I watch it on TV, and it's amazing how the media coverage is getting better all the time. Hey, players, come to camp ready. Don't just wake up and, oh, yeah, I go to Shrine Camp. Used to be 2 weeks or longer. That was a killer back when I was participating in it. Now I think it's only like close to a week, which is really neat. Don't invite your girlfriends to come down and see you. I'm serious. Don't drive these coaches. Coach Riker don't want to have to be up all night. He'll probably have Arnold, these other guys cover the night shift, but don't invite your buddies to all get in a car and come to Ottawa. Ottawa. Don't invite. Hey, make this a week of personal growth for yourself. Think about your many blessings. And what a good-looking bunch of players. And I know a lot of them aren't here. But I'll tell you something, players. When you look in that mirror, which teenagers love to do, and you look at those arms and legs, you better remember, not everybody has that. And great testimonial here tonight. Go to camp focusing on football. Go to camp counting your blessings of the many good things that's happened in your life. It'll be special. It'll be special. It's not like it used to be. It's more fun. Embrace that week and thank a Shriner. all the good things, a lot of good things have happened to me just for being a regular old football coach. And one of the better things that's happened to me, and the support that I've had from great young men and parents and coaches. But I know I didn't get here by myself, and there's a lot of great coaches sitting around here, and they didn't get here by themselves. And I will tell you, one of my best supporters for 51 years is sitting right here, my wife, Karen. You coaches' wives are here know it's not easy to sit there in the stands and hear negative stuff from all the pea-brains that think they know better because they watched the NFL show or something. But also, I want to point out a supporter of mine has been my daughter and son-in-law sitting right down here. Just raise your hand, guys. They would... I appreciate your support. They would, when I coached my last job at Wamego, they would load up from Lawrence with the kids and come to watch old Dad coach a team. And thank goodness they were winners down at Wamego, so that was sort of fun. Coaches' wives, special thank you. It's not easy, but I know, and I will say this, I've got one now. She's pretty smart in football. She tells me when it's a 3-man front or 4-man front, or when I get home, I might get some criticism at home, and that's no damn fun, but she knows her football. Well, everybody that gets around me, and it doesn't really get old, I could talk for too long, but everybody asks me about the one player I had, Barry Sanders. Kansas kid, Kansas values. And he's the same man today at 50 that he was in high school and when he played Shrine Bowl for the Green Weenies over there. But he played on that side, being out of Wichita. Everybody wants to ask me about him, and they want to hear stories. They want autographs, which I can't do that for you either. But I will tell you 2 stories about that young man. Quiet young man, probably would have played any position that I asked him to play. If I'd have said, Barry, I need you at nose guard this week, he might have said, really, coach? But I'll do it. Quiet. Of course, he came out that year, and I had a lot of fast kids, and he was just one of the many ones. When you coach at Wichita, you're going to have a little speed. But, and as coaches, we moan and groan about trying to get all the kids to wait summer workouts. Barry Sanders rode an old bicycle 3 miles every day to get to workouts. When I heard more excuses from everybody and their brother, I couldn't get a ride. He showed up. He was there. Never said a word, quiet. Like I said, you didn't know the kid was around until you gave him the ball and he was doing all this stuff. And nobody could touch him. The other thing, I'm an old guy, so one of my heroes as a young coach was J.W. Emerson at Manhattan. I don't know if anybody remembers the guy. But he did a thing that I loved. Certain days, he would just surprise in summer workouts, 50-40s. Today, we're running 50-40s. And I've done that ever since I heard him speak. I've done that. And I mean, does that separate the men from the boys? 50-40s, but the philosophy is you want to be fast, run a lot. And running in sand is another of my things that I did at Wamego, and probably nobody, maybe the cat's playing the sand pit now down there. But anyways, we ran 50-40s, and out of 30-some kids that morning, three were still standing at 40 of them. 10 more to go. And guess who was one of those guys? Barry Sanders. Has anybody ever met him? Has anybody besides seen him on TV, on the Heisman House commercials? You've met him, Coach? Good for you. Well, guess what? He is going to be at your Shrine Bowl this July. He is going to be there. Bruce Weedle and I, Shriner back there, raise your hand, Bruce. He talked to me about that years ago, and we tried a little bit and tried to go through the agents, and that's a deal because the agents would go, well, we need money to come, and I said, no, it's not money deal. He was like, so just this past year when he called me one time, I said, would you ever like to come to Shrine Bowl? He said, I loved playing in the Shrine Bowl. That'd have been 86 summer, I guess. He said, that was a great experience. I said, would you come back for that? I got a bunch of kids in Kansas love to see you. He said, I'll try to make that work. And Donnie Bohannon, bless his little heart here, has worked hard, been in contact with Barry's agent, And that's quite a guy to deal with, but he's been in contact with him, and Barry has agreed, right, Donnie? His agent says he will be here in Hays, Kansas. Now, that's really something because that week, and this is a big payday, that week happens to be the week he goes to California every year and makes those Heisman House commercials. Hey, how many have seen those? Where those go, it's hilarious. But they spend a whole week, him and all those Heisman winners, and they make those commercials, and that's a payday. So to get him to come over here, but I will tell you, Barry wants to come here. So I will try to get him, or somebody will we're going to come in your locker room. You're going to get to meet one of the finest Kansas kids that ever walked the face of the earth. Parents, I thank you for everything. You make so many sacrifices with your times, rescheduling trips. You do all kinds of stuff just for your son, your ball player. I've got one story I tell about parents. These coaches sitting over here and here, they all have great stories about parents. Small town north of here, small school, young man, was a good high school player, and he made it to Kansas State as a walk-on, and he was on the team. He saw the field on Saturdays on a punt return unit. Now, I'm going to try to get through this without choking up because it's so darn special. His parents, Friday afternoons, closed the gas station, their livelihood, load up in the station wagon. That's back when it was Big 8. And they would go to wherever K-State was. Boulder, Norman, Stillwater, Ames, Iowa, wherever all the K-State players were. Drive all night, get there in the middle of the night to the parking lot of the stadium, sleep in the station wagon, just to be there to watch him take the field. Parents, I love you. Thank you very much, because that's a true story. And then they had to drive back without much sleep and drive back the next day. But they did it for their kid. And I don't know how many of us would sleep in a station wagon now, but coaches, thank you. You just might be the most important teacher these players will ever have. Who comes back to, when the kids graduate and come back, who do they come to see? I'm sorry, English teachers, science teachers, you're all wonderful. They come to see the coach. I want to hunt up Thomas. I want to hunt up Bart. I want to hunt up Arnold. You know, they come back to see the coach. That was always special to me. I like that. But you've spent more time with your football coach than you have with your family during football season. And I know football season is pretty... Your coach has taught you work ethic. I mean, I've made a list already. It's like 100 things long, but I just named teamwork, goal setting, the value of the grind, especially you guys that make it to postseason. Is that not a grind? I mean, I've had players during the season go, I'm sick of football. So I have to make a light practice or something to make it fun again. And I'm half a clown, so it's good I can do that. That makes me get along. And they've taught you, here's the best thing. They've taught you that if you do the little things right, stand, start, get off in the snap, you do the little things right, you're going to be successful. So, coaches, I thank you. I will say this. Your coaches, you players, you'll hear your coach's voice for the rest of your life. These guys will be dead and buried. You'll still hear what old Coach Moody said or somebody said, because there's just that much of an impact on the deal. Players, you didn't get here by yourself, so thank those people. But you really don't know me, but I know you players. You're the guys that do the extra stuff. You're in extracurricular activities. I will tell you this, Fortune 500 companies, those recruiters are looking for people like you. They don't want the student that runs out of there at 2:30 every afternoon. They want the guy that does the extras, and you do the extras. That you've already shown. You're the leaders, you're the difference makers in your school. Later on, you'll be the difference makers in your community. That's just super. Okay. Got my pages screwed up here. I want to say this. I have had players that are multimillionaires. That's just for being an old guy. I have players that are behind bars in prison for most of their life. All you coaches could come up here and say the same thing. Why? Because of decision making. And I'm going to revert back to, we all know Coach Bill Snyder. And the best thing I heard from him that I've relayed to my players, when you need to make a tough decision, out with your drinking buddies or whatever, you need to make a tough decision, just ask yourself, would my mother approve of it? And that's the best thing I've had that I've relayed on to kids. See, their mothers they're applauding me right now because they're holding their hand up. They like that stuff. 3 things I'm going to close with, and that's one of them. Use that as your decision maker. At Arlington, I grew up back east, so I'm a crazy Easterner, but my family took me down to Washington, D.C. a lot, and we would go to the Arlington Cemetery. Not sure why, but we did. Do you know, even today, and I've been back there recently, and I love to visit that place. Hope you get a chance to see that. Today, there are 4 to 5 funerals every day of young men at that ceremony, the black cars. I got to get emotional talking about it. And those boys are only about a year older than you are. Veterans that are in here, thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. The best days of your life are not out drinking with the guys. It will be rolling around on the floor with that little toddler that thinks you hung the moon. Thank you, Shriners.
Low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Go, go.